Hey everyone, I know that it has been a few months since the first episode of Just Talk with Jay, but we are back with episode two, and I am so excited to share this story. I'm your host, Jayla Pettis, and I have the honor of being joined by my dear friend, Nyla Cherry. So, Nyla, thank you so much just for joining my podcast.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And just to give some everybody, viewers, some background information. So, Nyla and I actually met May of this year at the YWE Broadcast School hosted by Ice Young. And we ended up bonding the first time we met each other. And it was just a really great experience. And I loved being able to meet Nyla, interact with her. We supported each other and helped each other. So that was very nice. And it's really interesting that we still stay in contact now, and I'm just very grateful for our friendship, Nyla. So thank you.
I'm very grateful. Let me tell y'all, Jayla is a star. She really she killed it at the school. I knew she was going to do great things, and it wasn't a doubt in my mind that we were still going to maintain our relationship when we got back from New York.
Well, thank you, Nyla. And right back at you. Nyla's amazing. And I'm so glad to tell her story and learn about it and do a lot of research because she's an amazing person. So, just to tell y'all a little bit about Nyla, she is from Randallstown, Maryland, and is a recent graduate from the University of Maryland, where she majored in journalism. So, go Terps. My dad loves Maryland. Nyla is a track star specializing in the long jump. And during the 2025-2026 indoor season, she opened with a first place finish at the Navy Indoor Invitational. And Nyla is also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So, Nyla, can you talk a little bit about when your passion for track developed?
Honestly, from the beginning, so I've been running track since I was the summer before first grade. And I remember it started with kindergarten field day. And I just remember being faster than all the other kids. And my parents would say, like, you were always running around the house. So after field day, I came home and I was telling my parents, like, I won the relay race. Like, I was super fast. And I was like, I just want to keep running. So they were like, we got something for you. And I had no idea what track is. I'd never watched it. I found out later that people in my family had run track before, but at that time I wasn't aware of it. And literally since day one, I fell in love. My first track practice was in my school uniform and tennis shoes. That's it. I had my skirt on, and I just remember running around the track and up the hill. That was the warm up every single day. And then I met my best friends for life, and I never wanted to quit till a few months ago. I am happily retired.
Oh my God, Nyla, that is so sweet. And so your specialty, I learned, is the long jump. So how did you know that this was something you wanted to compete in?
Honestly, I didn't. I was new to track. I didn't know anything. And then my coach, Coach Tony, who was the head coach, I used to run for a Woodlawn Track Pack. He was like, have you ever thought about long jump? And I was like, I don't know what long jump is. So he took me over to the sand pit and he was like, run, attack the board, and just land on your butt. So I went out there and I did it. And he was like, oh, you're not afraid to get dirty. And I was like, I mean, no, not really. Like I was always a very active kid at the playground, you name it. So I just fell in love with long jump, honestly. And then when I was getting recruited for collegiate athletics, my head coach Andrew Bauman, he was like, I'd recommend you to like pick a specialty because at that time I was doing a lot of different events. So he was like, why don't you pick a specialty and go from there? And long jump happened to be my best event, so it was easy to make that decision.
Right. And then I know that you had mentioned Coach Tony. So would you say that he has made an impact in your life?
Absolutely. Coach Tony grew to be like a father figure to me, running track from such a young age, but then also just devoting so much of my time. So outdoor track, our practices were Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe. And then the track meets were Saturday and Sunday. So that's I was with them all the time. And then I have an amazing father, but he definitely grew to be my father outside of the house. And just he believed in me. He came and he supported me at my basketball games, my volleyball games. Like it was so much deeper than track. He really encouraged us in school, which was something I wasn't used to. I know most athletics, it's only about their sport, but no, he didn't play. If you had bad grades, you couldn't practice that day. So he poured so much life into me, and I wouldn't be half of the woman I was today without Coach Tony pushing me. He didn't believe in injuries either. I would be like, "Oh, I'm sore." He's like, you got it." Like, so he taught me how to be resilient. He taught me how to believe in myself. He would always motivate me. Like, for example, when I turned, so track age groups, it's like 8 and under, and then it's 9, 10, 11, 12, etc. So when I got to 9, 10, I would run in practice with the 11, 12 age group. So he's always like motivated me and pushed me like, whatever you think is your peak, push that, go beyond that. So yeah, I can never thank him enough for everything that he's poured into me.
Right. And I think that it's important to, have someone in your life, whether it's a coach, a dance teacher, or just a mentor, even that pushes you beyond your limits, because you just never know what you can accomplish, without having that extra push. So I think that that's very important. So I like that you brought that up. And you touched on an injury. So I know that you said you suffered a hip injury during your track career. So what obstacles did this create when it came to competing at the collegiate level?
Number one, just the ability to believe in myself, like knowing that honestly, just I still have pain in my hip every day. So learning how to compete with pain, I was dealing with, am I ever going to get back to my best self? And I had to learn that instead of trying to get back to who I used to be, it's about who I'm going to become now with this injury. How can I compete with this injury? And then also during that time, the day that I found out I had surgery, a few days later, I found out that Coach Tony actually passed away. So now it's like he's the one person that I wanted to go through to get me through this injury. And I no longer had him as an outlet. So learning how to motivate myself on top of it being COVID. So now I'm running around Maryland trying to find tracks that are open. And I was a hurdler at this time. So finding hurdles that were available. There's just a lot of different factors going on. But ultimately, definitely my relationship with Christ helped me to get through it. And then leaning on my support system. So I was fortunate enough. My high school track coach actually ran for Coach Tony as well. So she was able to help me. Practice was a lot deeper than just run and jump. It was, I believe in you. I know you're hurting right now because I feel the same pain as you, but you got this. He's still with you. And yeah, the hardest thing, it's definitely like your hip. I could barely walk. So learning like how am I supposed to jump and I cannot walk right now. But just trusting in God, like I knew he had a plan for me and I knew it was going to work out.
With your injury, did that create any issues with you getting admitted into Maryland or running track with the team at Maryland?
I would definitely say so. The biggest obstacle I had my freshman year in high school, and I had a pretty decent freshman year. And then sophomore year was COVID. Junior year, I'm out with injury. So now here I am, senior year, and I went to McDonough, which is a pretty big private school in Maryland, but it's also a very competitive school academically, but more so athletically. So all of my surrounding friends, they're committed. They know exactly what they're doing, what their next steps are. And I knew I wanted to run track at the next level, but I didn't really have the time to get recruited off of. So I'm talking to coaches like, I have potential, I promise, like just believe in me. Um, and just like dealing with like I'm coming back. Like it's not that my times are falling off, it's that I literally haven't competed in 3 years and I'm trying to get back to the level that I was once at on top of a coaching shift that happened at McDonough. So it was just a lot of different factors going on. But like I said earlier, learning how to compete through pain and instead of getting back to who I used to be, developing a new me. But ultimately, Coach Bauman took a chance on me, and he was like, if you can just get your long jump a little bit stronger, I think that you will be an excellent candidate to join my track and field team. So I ended up PRing in April, late April of my senior year, and I thought it was too late to run track in college, but Coach B was like, if you can get in, I'll deal with getting you on the team. And sure enough, that's what happened.
Wow, I love that story. It's like a comeback and you dealing with an obstacle or a challenge and overcoming that. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And so, as an athlete, academics and everything, how have you been able to juggle athletics, academics, and being a part of a D9 organization?
Absolutely my support system. And I really had to learn to ask for help. I grew up, my mom and my parents were both in the same household, but my mom was a very independent woman. So learning like it is okay to ask for help. Learning time management early on definitely saved me. And just remembering, I always knew like I had a purpose in college. And the Bible talks a lot about anything that you want to achieve, like you have to work for it. And with working, that comes with sacrifice. So knowing that even my line sisters, I love them to death, but I couldn't be at every single event that we wanted to go to. I had to miss some of our own events to go for a track meet. And just learning how to sacrifice, prioritize, making sure I'm getting my sleep. Like that's another thing. I did not realize how important sleep truly was until college. And I can't do anything if I'm not my best self first. And then definitely my jump group for track. I could talk about them forever. Like having a coach that truly believes in you on and off the field, like it's incredible. And being able, a lot of my support system, they support me in different aspects of life. So, for example, my line sisters, they're at my track meet, they're cheering for me, but then vice versa. My teammates are coming to my probate, my teammates are helping me out while I'm online and things like that. And then my parents, they are incredible. Whatever I need, I know that I can pick up the phone, I can ask them, they pour life into me. My friends outside of track and outside of my line sisters, like they're just always there. And I know that I'm never alone. And when times get tough, I know how to delegate and I know how to be like, I can't show up for you today, but I can love you from afar. That's another thing I had to learn. Just learning how to say no. Like I can't be everything for everybody. And that was something that was really hard for me to understand because I'm a pretty like, I'd say I'm very dependable, but learning I can't be dependable if I can't even depend on myself. So just learning how to navigate that.
So now I'm going to switch over from track to your professional career. I know that you are a sports girly, specifically football, just like me. And side note, Nyla and I, when we met at the YWE broadcast school, we were sideline reporters, and she mentioned that she wanted to become a sideline reporter for the NFL. And I was like, no way, Nyla, me too. So I think that that allowed us to bond more and, really learn and feed off of each other. And so, Nyla, what is your why for sports broadcasting?
I think it starts with just being surrounded by sports all of my life. Like I had an older brother, so if I wasn't playing my own sports between volleyball, track, basketball, like dance, and then my brother he played basketball and baseball. My mom grew up around sports; she was pretty good at basketball. And then my family, we had football Sundays every single Sunday, and I was the host house, so everybody would come to my basement and we would watch football all day. Like the Red Zone channel has saved our life countless times. And I knew I wanted to talk, and then I knew I enjoyed sports. So I was like, what can I do? And at the time, I didn't really know what journalism was or I had a concept of journalism, but I didn't know how I could explore it as a career path until about junior year in high school. I took a journalism course, and it was more opinionated journalism. But I was like, I like sharing my opinion, and then also like growing up in Baltimore County, every time I turn on the news, it's not always something positive. It's about how a Black person has taken the life of another Black person. And I knew that I wanted to share stories of Black joy. That Black people are so complex and we're so versatile. And people don't know that. People don't get to see those signs. So I was like, I want to be somebody who shares stories of Black joy. And sports are so versatile. I like that anybody can join sports. There's no racial barrier anymore. But currently, there's no racial barrier. And I was like, I love that. Like, sports are something that can bring everyone together. And then in middle school, I actually ended up being bullied myself. So I kind of grew a passion for just giving a voice to the voiceless. I didn't want people to feel how I felt, where I didn't really know how to advocate for myself and I didn't know how to defend myself. So I'm like, just combining all of these different passions. Like, yes, I get to tell people stories. I get to tell stories of joy. It's exciting. The birthday is different every single day. And I ultimately just fell in love with sports journalism and sports media.
Right. And I like that you highlight about advocating for yourself because, as a fellow journalist myself, I know that that was something that I learned about in my program. And I think it's important that, we stand up for ourselves because if not, who else will if we don't stand up for ourselves? So,
Exactly.
yeah, I think that that's a key thing. And so, a lot of people may not know the acronym NABJ, but it's the National Association of Black Journalists. I know that you're a part of it. I'm a part of it. And Nyla, why did I find out that you went in 2024 and I was actually there in Chicago and we did not meet at all?
I don't know how we did not meet. I love that was my first NABJ, and then I'm hoping to get back to the convention this year in Atlanta. But I don't know how we didn't cross paths because I was a busy bee. I was everywhere. Were you able to attend the ESPN summit with the big three?
No, I did not. But I was at
Oh,
the filming
love
of
it.
First Take and I saw that you and I was like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, like how did we not meet? But you know what? God, I feel like he puts us in each other's lives for a reason, and there was a reason that we met when we did in May.
Amen.
Yes, because I was just like, oh my gosh. So with NABJ and everything that it entails, how important do you think that NABJ is for Black journalists wanting to break into the industry?
Honestly, when I think of NABJ, the words that come to mind, life changing. Like me personally, I was able to meet with a recruiter, which transitioned into my freelance work that I do with CBS Sports now. And just the connections that I was able to make. Like I was able to meet the big three. Like that's insane. Like I was able to take a picture with Monica McNutt. Like that's it was incredible. And just it was so great to see so many other Black journalists, like especially as someone who I say I found journalism a little bit late in high school, just seeing the roof, like the sky is truly the limit. Being able to see First Take filmed live. And Stephen A, I'm a Cowboys fan, so we have our own differences. But beyond that, like he is truly a trailblazer in the field of journalism and just how much Black joy and Black success was at NABJ. It was incredibly inspiring. And I think it was great that I was able to go kind of young. So I went heading into my junior year
Mhm.
and I think it kept me very focused junior year. I knew exactly what I needed to do. That's when I kind of picked up my student journalism. Like I got to learn from other people, like, okay, they have reels, they have this. I didn't know really too much what a reel was, or I knew what it was, but I wasn't really sure how to develop it for myself. So then it helped me to remain a lot more focused going back into the school year. Like, okay, I need to be in these rooms talking to these people. I need to update my LinkedIn. And ultimately, I think it completely changed the trajectory of my journalism career.
Right. And I can attest to that because when I went, it was my very first time going. And when I got there, I walked in nervous, but then walked out feeling very empowered and inspired because, like growing up, I don't know if you had the same experience, but I know like for me, I knew at a young age that like sports broadcasting was something that I wanted to get into. But at the time, there wasn't a lot of women who looked like me, and there was only like one familiar face is Lisa Salters, and still to this day she's still like out there. But I feel like us, people that look like us being in a room, seeing everybody there, men and women, it was just empowering. And to see like how from a young age up until now that Black women are taking up space in this industry, it's amazing. So I love that, you had that experience and you're able to like take what you've learned and incorporate that into your career.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm hoping I get down to Atlanta again this summer. Hopefully, do you have any plans to go back to NABJ?
I do have plans. I will not be attending this year. I'm very sad because I actually love Atlanta. It's not too far from my hometown, like maybe 2 hours or so. Not going, but I do plan to go next year though, definitely. So we will have to connect and link up.
I was about to say, if you need a roommate, let me know.
Oh, most definitely. And then, what is one piece of advice you would give to Black women aspiring to become a sideline reporter?
I would say honestly, keep the main thing. I think as Black women, people try to deter us. They try to kind of fill our head, not with lies, but, oh, are you sure you're already the odd one out? You're the woman in the room in a male dominated environment. And on top of that, you're Black. Keep the main thing, and stay focused. Believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else will? And just think about you wish that you had a role model like yourself when you were growing up. Be that role model for the young Black women that are coming after us. You can be the only woman in the room. That is, I take that as a compliment. Like, yes, I'm good enough to be the only woman in the room. Believe in yourself. Like, you got this. Keeping the main thing. You're gonna have setbacks, but that's okay. Remember your end goal. Don't let these minor setbacks affect your entire journey. Like, it is okay. Sports are not going anywhere. That's what Ice taught me. She was like, sports and TV, they're not going anywhere. So you have so many opportunities, create your own opportunities, and just never shy away from anything.
I like that. And then the final question. So with the NFL season quickly approaching, so excited. Football girly through and through. What does football Sundays look like to you? Because I know you mentioned it. So what is like a typical Sunday for Nyla?
Unfortunately, football Sunday, or I guess fortunately, a little bit of both. It's a bittersweet. It's looking a little bit differently because I'm no longer with my family, but it's for a great reason. Now I typically spend my Sundays with CBS Sports helping out in operation support and different game day operations. So it's really exciting. I get to learn from some of the best sideline reporters, some of the best analysts, you name it. Evan Washburn, AJ Ross, like I think they're incredible. They've taught me so much. We have a unique perspective in sideline reporting. We see everything that the fans don't see. Some of the fans that are even in the stadium, the injury reports, like we're so enthralled into the game. So I typically spend my Sundays either on the sidelines, in the booth, or just anywhere where anybody needs me to kind of be helpful. But I just love being in the atmosphere, seeing the different teams, the players, the fans, especially the baby fans. They're so cute. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's a little challenging. Well, not anymore. I was gonna say it's a little challenging going through 5 days of school and then I have track as well and then working on the weekends, but it's so worth it. Sundays are my favorite day of the week. Wake up, spend some time in my word, spend some time with the Lord, and then get to go watch my favorite sport live.
Right. And then now that we're done with the regular questions, there is a segment that I like to do called Rapid Fire. And I like to incorporate this because, a lot of the times when, I think, when athletes are being asked questions, it's always like the hard, the nitty-gritty injury things, but never really like those evergreen questions to really get to know you beyond your sport. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and for the audience and to get to know you. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so your favorite color.
Pink.
Nyla, why am I just not
Don't
finding
tell my line sisters that.
why am I just not finding out that your favorite color is pink?
Oh, I'm a pink girly through and through. I'm currently talking to you on my pink laptop. I love pink.
Nyla, my favorite color is pink. Oh my gosh. Okay, top song on Kaylani's self-titled album.
Honestly, I don't know yet. I have not listened. I'm sorry. I'm
Nyla, I'm
sorry,
gonna pick you.
guys. I know.
Oh my
But
god.
don't worry, don't worry. I will have an answer for you before August because I will be in attendance in that concert.
I was about to
Trust.
say you have to have a top off of her self-titled album because you're going to the concert.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I'll get back to you on that. But I love Kalani. I love her through and through.
So, if not a song off of her self-titled album, what is one of your favorite songs of hers?
I like, you know what's up. That is my jam. It's a little toxic, but I do love that song.
I like that one too. Favorite meal to cook?
Ooh. Okay, my boyfriend likes this little staple that I make. It's like steak, sweet potatoes, broccoli, rice. It's incredible. And it's like it's so much protein, but then I'd say it keeps you pretty light as well. So you can make like a healthier version of it. Me personally, I'm gonna throw the teriyaki sauce in there, but yeah, I like a good, well-balanced meal.
Okay, and then what is your pre-meet ritual that you do?
I talk to God every single meet. So I get up when I'm getting ready. I say my morning prayer in the mirror. I just ask Him to help me to have a healthy competition. I ask Him to allow me to glorify Him no matter the outcome. I ask Him to quiet my mind so I can execute what I've been working in practice this week. And then every single time I step on the runway, I do 3 deep breaths. And then on my third deep breath, I look up to heaven and I ask Coach Tony to be with me before I take my jump.
And then the final question, number one stroll song.
Down for my N words.
Nyla, I was thinking you were gonna say "Wipe Me Down" because that's like universal. But I know I like
Yeah.
that one too. I like that one too. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's the first stroll that my line sisters and I ever came up with, like on our own. So other strolls were like passed down to us from our profiles, but that's the first one we ever made. So that one always hits a little closer to home.
Oh, okay. Well, Nyla, thank you for chatting with me. And I was so excited when you agreed to let me tell your story. And I know that you will do great things. And again, congratulations on graduating. And as always, thank you for everything and being a great friend.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being willing to tell my story and even just believing that my story was something to tell. I also echo all the same sentiments. I know that you're going to do amazing things, and I can't wait to see you at the top.
Oh, you too. Thank you, Nyla. And
Of
as
course.
As always, thank you, viewers, for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned for episode 3.